Hey guys, what's going on? Geekin Drinkin here, back with another episode, and we're at the top of the show. We just want to, get it out of the way. We know everything going on in the world right now. It's a hard time. With the violence, everything. You know what's going on. You don't need to be reminded.
Still with the pandemic as well.
Oh yes, also with the pandemic. It's been a weird year. And it's a difficult time we live in today. On this show, we don't like to get too much into political stuff like that. I mean, that's not what the show is, and it's not what the show is going to be. The show is about fun. It's about, two brothers, who enjoy beer, enjoy, talking about, the movies and TV shows, music we like. So
nerd shit.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And our hope for you guys is if wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, we hope first and foremost that you're safe and you're being responsible. And we hope that if you're listening to this, we're able to take your mind off, everything going on. And that way you could unwind a little bit, crack open a beer, and just listen to us talk. Hopefully have a few laughs along the way. So that's our hope for this show. Like I said, wherever you are, I hope you're safe, being responsible, and doing the right thing. Let's continue on with the show. We got a great episode for you guys today. So let's go. Alright guys, what's going on? We're back and we're doing our show, episode 42 of Geekin Drinkin. I'm Eddie,
Steven.
And we have a very exciting episode for you guys today. We have some news to tackle. HBO Max came out. We got a huge announcement from Snyder and
Snyder Cut.
So we'll begin into that. And then throughout, later on in the show, we're gonna talk about one of our favorite TV shows out there, and we hope you guys are gonna have a few laughs along the way. But as always, on this show we love to drink our beer, and Steven has a beer, a new beer I haven't tried from the brewery. I know he's tried it. I haven't tried any of their beer. I don't even know what kind of beer he has, so I'm super.
This is actually the first time that we're featuring this brewery on the show too.
Super excited.
We're hoping, once things start calming down with the COVID situation, that we'll be able to go visit this brewery and sit down with them and talk about their beer, because they have some really good beer. And actually, this beer that we're about to present is also a very special beer as well, because if you haven't seen the episode, we sat down with home brewer and founder of the San Antonio Cerveceros, Dan Gomez.
Original Gomez.
And he helped, he came up with this recipe for this beer.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be pretty cool. So
what's the first and foremost? Where is this beer from?
This beer is from Künstler Brewing Co. You want to make sure you get that.
Yeah, it's always either brewing or brewing co.
Yeah.
Or brewing. Yeah, it's always like.
Or just brewery.
Or brewery, yeah. So it's just like.
But yes, this is from Künstler Brewing Co. And this is their Helles lager. So,
here in San Antonio, Texas?
Yeah, so I don't want to butcher this, but go ahead and say that name right there.
Beer rations? Oh, no.
Helstrella.
Okay.
We'll put it right here, so y'all see that.
And it'll be in the description. You want to check it out.
I tried this beer for the first time the other day, and it is a damn good beer. It sits at a 5.1%, so it's not too bad. It's a good taste.
It's a good beefy can you got there.
Yeah, check that out.
I like how it says Weird Times beer rations.
Yeah.
Nice. Like I said, this is my first time trying this particular brewery in general. I haven't had any of their beers, so I'm super excited.
Since it's your first time, I'm gonna give you the first pour here.
Yeah, so nice.
Hopefully, I don't spill it.
But yeah, guys, like I said, we have a very exciting episode. If you've seen our last episode where we did a full in-depth dive into Joker, we talked about everything from the score to like the hype leading up to the movie's release, all that stuff. It was a fun episode. I really had a lot of fun doing it.
Even the announcement, when we talked about the announcement as well. like how we felt when it first got announced.
like so if you haven't heard that episode, it is available on YouTube. It's also available on audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You could even download the Anchor app on your phone. We're available through there. And anywhere you find podcasts, just search Geeking and Drinking podcast, and it should pop up. Like I said, you can find on YouTube if you'd rather watch us. Sorry. But check out that episode. It's been a lot of fun. And today we're going to kind of follow that same format. We're going to do a deep dive into not so much a movie, but
one of our favorite episodes, and you'll find out soon.
Yeah, like one of our favorite television series, ever. So, it's going to be a pretty fun ride. But I'm ready to try this beer.
Let's do this.
Cheers. So smooth. What kind of beer is this? It's a Munich Helles lager. So nice. It's real light in color. And you can see all the bubbles going up. It's a beautiful beer. Look at that. I'm just amazed by the little, I don't know. I like really into the colors. Like looking at especially like the lighter ones where you could see through it. Pretty awesome.
And once again, this was a recipe made by Dan Gomez, who is the founder of the Santana Cerveceros, Original Gomez. He's also a brewery consultant or pub consultant as well. So, be sure to go check that episode. If you haven't checked it out, it was a real fun episode for us. We've had an opportunity to brew a couple of our
two batches of
our same beer, just kind of tweak the recipe a little bit, but we got to do that, so that was pretty cool. And
hopefully, great experience, hopefully, when everything starts to calm down, we'll be able to brew another beer. Been talking with some people, and some people, these particular people are very interested in trying to collaborate. So we'll talk a bit more off the camera.
Yeah,
just a little tease. That's what you call a tease. Speaking of tease. Okay, well, before we get to the tease part, for those of you who don't know...
What are you teasing you?
For those of you that don't know, because and I say that because the release of this thing was really silent and, kind of just happened. HBO Max is finally here. You're like, what's HBO Max? It's another streaming platform.
You're talking about HBO Now?
That's the confusing part about it. So I'm saying, like, HBO Max is the newest streaming platform from Warner Media, and Warner Media, who owns Warner Brothers, they own, it's basically everything you get with HBO, and then some. So it's owned by Warner Brothers, so you get majority, not all, of DC movies. You get, and right now they have all 8 Harry Potter movies, which it's awesome. HBO Max was launched on Wednesday, May 27th. And like I said, it was real kind of
subtle,
yeah.
For those y'all, if you had already had the HBO Now, and you opened up, either your Apple TV or your on your phone, because unfortunately I know it didn't work for a couple of other.
Roku and Amazon Fire Stick have yet to have the new HBO Max app available on their,
But I mean, if, for Apple TV and stuff like that, and if you had the HBO Now, you kind of notice like, hey, where did my HBO Now go, and what's this other thing that got replaced with it?
Yeah,
well, there was. That was the HBO Max.
And that's what I'm saying. Like this whole release thing, like because I remember when they announced they were going to do their own streaming thing, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to have TV shows like Friends, French Prince of Bel-Air, they're going to have just a huge catalog of stuff. And then that was announced. Oh yeah, everything you get with HBO is also going to be on there. So it's like, well, then what's the point of having HBO Now? It's just like, we'll get there when we get there. We'll figure it out when then. So like I said, if you have HBO Now, you could still access.
Oops, wrong one.
You could still access HBO Now, but for the most part, it's turned into HBO Max. So it's just another streaming platform where you could stream everything from that's under the Warner Media name. So but as far as the actual platform goes, I haven't really dove much really deep into it, only because the only way I can access it right now is on my phone. I do have a Roku, and I have a Roku TV, and unfortunately, like I said, it's not available for Roku as of yet. So that was kind of a huge bummer for me. I was like, man, I was like, I really want to binge French Prince of Bel-Air, because I remember watching that when I was younger. I'm like, oh, this is, it's a funny show, and like I want to revisit it, because it's just like classic '90s, show. So, but hopefully, they work out their deal soon, and we'll be able to get it, anywhere. So, but yeah, just a quick glance at the DC movies. I was very disappointed to find that none of the Christopher Nolan movies are on there. Mm-hmm. And you did point out that, like, well, maybe it's because they still have
some type of deal or something,
like a deal with Netflix.
I think Batman Begins is on Netflix
and The Dark Knight.
But no damn platform ever has
Dark Knight Rises. Even with the DC Universe app that had Batman movies, it just didn't have Dark Knight Rises. I'm like, that's the movie I want to see. Like, I was like, man, like, I just want to see that one movie, and I can't find it nowhere. And even at that, they don't have any of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies on there, I believe. I don't even think they even have Man of Steel. They have Batman.
No, yeah, because I did mention that, because you mentioned, like, they don't even have Man of Steel, and I go, I don't even think they have any of the Christopher Reeves or the Superman Returns movie at all.
Oh, like Brandon Routh.
Yeah.
Brandon Routh. Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, the one thing that it has going for it, and if you really think about it, it's not that big. It has Friends. It has all 10 seasons of Friends. Because as you guys know, if you're a huge Friends fan, like of course we are, back in December, I think they took Friends off of Netflix. They took all their, like people have to find something else to just put on the background. I know that there's people out there who they're not fans of it. I don't see why.
Yeah, because back in the day there was a debate of you were either Friends or Seinfeld.
Nah, I like Friends. But yeah, so like that's really what it has going for it.
I like both.
And but it's the same thing like with Disney Plus when it first got released. I mean, it had a lot of stuff, but it didn't have everything. But eventually it kind of
same thing with DC Universe. DC Universe didn't have everything. I mean, obviously.
And speaking of which, DC Universe, which is of course under the Warner Media umbrella. So now, which is weird because you could watch Doom Patrol, which is a DC Universe original show, and it's now on HBO Max. You could watch season 1. I think season 2 is coming soon. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Season 2 is gonna come out June 25th. So I actually have 25 days to watch the first season of Doom Patrol because I never got to finish it.
But the weird thing is that Titans isn't even on.
Yeah, that's HBO it. That was the other thing, and the other thing too with the DC part of the HBO Max is that they only have like I think 2 or 3 of their well they have other stuff too, but of their animated movies. The only ones I saw there was the
Dark Knight Returns,
Batman versus Robin,
okay.
The Judico contract with the Teen Titans, and
great movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And they don't even have Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, they don't even have Under the Red Hood, and I think there was maybe one more I can't remember. But the other ones that they do have that I just finished watching, I just love it, and I love the comic. I need to go at least buy the graphic novel of it. Is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. The movies. Oh, I love it.
That's the same. Like I want to watch these things, but I don't want to watch it on my phone. I'm one of the few that just. I like to watch it on a bigger screen.
Yeah, of course.
I like to have the experience. I like to have my TV on, my little LED lights in the back shining, like fluorescent. Okay, I'm extra. Okay, I'm extra. I'm not even afraid to admit it. I'm extra. Like I like to have my sound bar on.
Yeah, all I need is my sound bar.
Have a nice cold beer with me and sit down. Like I can't watch it on my phone. I just can't. Like if I'm really forced to, like if I'm on the.
Well, why don't you watch it on your phone? Maybe like put your lights on and
just one little tiny 1-inch strip. But
just buy like something that just right there. Bing.
Yeah, but it's just like I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. That morning of, I remember waking up, that Wednesday, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check out my Roku. I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna start watching.
Which is weird because you had HBO Now on the Roku, right?
Yeah, and it's still HBO Now. Like it hasn't changed.
It's weird.
It's still HBO Now. So, like because I've been watching. I finally finished Euphoria. I liked it. I liked it. I liked that show. Like
it was interesting.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
But yeah, so you know, I was really disappointed that morning to find that, and I right away I looked on, I went online, searching like, why isn't HBO Max on Roku? And it was like, it's not available on Roku. It's not available on Amazon Fire Stick. They're still in negotiations of how to release the app. I'm like, come on now,
dude. Fucking Apple TV just automatically updated for me.
Yeah.
I turned it on and it was like, boom, purple. It's purple and blue.
Yeah, because like
right there.
when I got on my phone, and I think I went on my browser and I searched HBO Max. And then I click signed in, because if you have HBO now, HBO Go, you could use that, you know, your login, you know, information to log in HBO Max. You automatically have it.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I clicked log in and it took me, I clicked log in and it took me to the HBO Now app. I'm like, no, I want to log into HBO Max. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I feel like they didn't explain this well, because it's just like, you know, to the everyday person, they're just like, well, what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. Like,
exactly.
you know, like, what is this? You know, I don't even want, you know, like, not everybody really wants it, or, you know, that, you know, maybe they're just like, what is this? It's just unfamiliar to them. So like I was saying, like, I was really disappointed, you know, that, you know, I can only get it on my phone for now, but hopefully soon it'll be available on Roku, and it better be available come 2021. Because
if not, you're gonna have to come over here and watch it,
bro.
just bring your lights with you.
It's been long awaited. Yeah, I'll bring my lights. Right. It's been long awaited. How long have we waited for this?
Dude.
Justice League was released in 2017, I believe.
I believe so. I can confirm that, but go ahead and continue on.
And since then, you know,
I mean,
you know,
even right after the movie was released in theaters, there was this.
There's talks of the Snyder Cut, of,
Yeah.
you know, of you know, the actual cut of the movie that
This
wasn't
is not
released.
the movie. This is not the movie we were supposed to get.
Yeah, you know, and if you know the story behind all this, you know, Justice League, you know, behind the scenes stuff, you know, then
2017.
you know, then nailed it. You know, then you know what kind of what we're talking about, but you know, it's been announced that we're finally getting the Snyder Cut of Justice League on HBO Max in 2021. I remember like days before, Jason Momoa was posting about it and just saying, you know, let's get the fucking Snyder Cut, you know, like, let's do it, let's come on, give it to the people, they want it. And then the next day it was announced. Zack Snyder said it's coming to HBO Max. And not only that, ever since then he's been teasing little things. He even tweeted a picture of Darkseid and says Darkseid's coming to HBO Max. Like,
Yeah, and that they already have the actor and everything lined up for it.
I mean, granted, yes, you know, and it's like it's kind of weird because we got this Justice League movie, and for me, it just seemed like it was pieced together, you know, from like just two different movies. You know, you had Zack Snyder, who obviously started it, and then you had Josh Whedon to do a lot of massive reshoots
And rewrites.
Yeah, and rewrites. So it just didn't mesh well together. I can't stand that movie. I've tried watching it again. I can't stand it. Like, I don't like it, and it sucks because and I know Batman v Superman isn't the best movie, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, I know
Look, I know I've had my thing with Batman versus Superman. This is what I'm gonna straight up say. I love the movie. I just don't love the ending.
BVS. Okay.
Batman versus. I just don't like the battle with Doomsday. I was very disappointed with that. That's my biggest issue with it.
Okay.
Other than that, I really do love everything because after watching The Dark Knight Returns on the HBO Max and then seeing that part where Superman takes the nuke to outer space and explodes, and then he's all
drains his life, and he has to get his life from the sun
his
again.
powers and stuff, and then
seeing that
in Batman versus Superman, I was like, oh my god, that's
awesome, like,
fucking
it's
awesome,
cool, yeah, like
and then seeing Batman in the armored suit, that was I thought that was great. I really love the bat symbol on his bat suit.
Okay, it's that kind of like spread out one.
Yeah, like the thick bat kind of thing.
That's yeah, and I mean, I don't know, like, I think it's reported they're gonna be spending about $30 million to finish Zack Snyder's cut of the movie.
30 plus.
Yeah, it's up there, And they said they're gonna be,
And that was confirmed by the by an exec from HBO themselves. Like,
so
saying,
they're all in. They're all in on this, and I think they finally like realize, you know what, like this is what the fans want. We're gonna give it to them, and we're gonna let Zack Snyder do what he wants to do. And I'm so glad. Now here's the question, because it was back when when the movie first came out and all this talks about the Snyder Cut, it was always said that, oh, well, it was like a 4-hour long movie, like it was really long. So is it going to be an episodic thing? Is it going to be a part 1, part 2 thing? Is it going to be all in one sitting? Because the thing about this is that, yeah, it's a movie, and you can't release a 4-hour movie in theaters. You just can't. Like, there's logistics you have to, think about. Like, movie theaters are not going to put a 4-hour movie that's going to take up majority of their theaters for 4 hours each showtime. Like they're gonna lose money on that, because there's other movies that are I'm saying, like they're just not gonna release a 4-hour movie in theaters. Like, it just not. So the thing is, this is being released on a platform where you could watch at home.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but
you could pause it, you could rewind it, you could do whatever. So, I mean, like I said, this is still fresh news. We don't got.
There's still a lot of stuff being developed with it. I mean,
and we're gonna continue to get more, because Zack Snyder is, he loves to just tease his fans. He loves to just to anticipate what's coming.
So tell me this: when Snyder actually confirmed the Snyder Cut, before he confirmed it and everything, everyone was really anticipating, oh, it's gonna be the Snyder Cut, it's gonna be Snyder Cut, and others were like, well, what if he actually finally announces The Man of Steel 2, kind of thing? Which one more were you leaning towards?
Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut?
Only because, I don't know, like, I felt like if they wanted to make a Man of Steel 2, they would have made it a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, that's understandable.
And who's to say that after, if this thing comes out and it's successful, which I really do not see it not being successful, because the hype is real. People are hyped for this. I am really excited for it. And there's even been reports that saying like, oh, Henry Cavill, because I remember there was that report came out about a year ago that he was done with the role. He was hanging out the Cape. But then he started posting stuff, with Superman and things like that too. So everybody was starting getting even more confused. So what the hell was going on here? Yeah. So like now, It's been reported that Henry Cavill will return for multiple films as Superman. Now, whether that's a pretty big role or is it just cameos? Because remember in Shazam, there was a cameo from Superman, but it wasn't Henry Cavill. It was somebody else.
It was totally somebody else. I showed you the picture of who it was. It was some scrawny guy.
So, and like, there's even talks like, oh, they're gonna reshoot that scene and put like, no, they're not. They're not gonna put it. Like, it's already been done. Yeah. He's in the universe.
There's no point in doing it. I mean,
yeah, like it's out there.
It was barely like a 5-second.
We're gonna get
less of.
We're gonna get a Snyder Cut of the cameo. Like, like it's gonna be 2 hours long. But I don't know, man. There's just so much up in the air with this stuff. It's exciting. I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait, till next year, because I'm just so over this year, and that's a good start for next year. Justice League, the Snyder Cut. I don't care if it's 4 hours long. I don't care if it's if it's 2 parts or.
I think they were planning on doing like a 6-part thing.
Yeah, like that's what I heard. I heard different things like. And if they do that, I really hope it's not like a weekly thing, or you have to wait a week, like I hope they just release it all at once, and that'll be awesome. But I'm super excited about it. And how do you feel? I mean, are you pretty stoked about it, or?
I mean, I'm as stoked as I could be about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's something that's just been going on for so long. There was always, then he kind of also I think at some point denied. There's no cut. What you got is what you got. I guess at that point he was just kind of just over it and disappointed with what the whole situation of everything and the unfortunate situation with why he had to leave and stuff like that. But I mean, I think as it gets closer and if they start showing more stuff, I'll be a little bit more.
Apparently,
excited.
there's already a trailer being worked on. So I can't wait to get that, dude. Like, I can't wait. Like, I really want this to be really good, because I was super excited for Justice League, and when I saw it, I don't remember last time I've been that disappointed. Like, I was just like, that was the worst. Like, that was not good. But even then, like this has even opened up the door. Like, it opened up the doors for other things. Now there's even talks of a David Ayer cut. Which at first when this whole Zack Snyder thing came out, I joked around. I was like, oh, let's get the Leto cut. Let's get the footage they cut for Jared Leto, and then like a couple of days later, here's David Ayer. He tweets out, my cut won't really take long to finish. Like, oh, you motherfucker, guys. Yeah, and people are starting to clam for it. I mean, Suicide Squad.
Well, what would it be? I mean, mostly just more Leto footage, or
I think more Leto footage, and then
or maybe a different story, because I know what the Snyder Cut, it's a whole different story. In itself.
I think it's more more scenes with Leto as a Joker, and it's also it dives more into Enchantress. It kind of builds her up. Like I said, like that. Her whole thing in the original movie was just kind of pieced together. That
it was really pieced together, and it was just like. There you go.
Yeah. So but with it was originally planned for it to be something bigger and dive deeper into it. It's just they just didn't do it because they wanted to make a 2-hour long music video.
Okay, look, dude. I was watching it the other day and I messaged you about it. I don't know if you saw the message or not, but so I actually when the whole thing the whole HBO Max thing happened and everything. Mm-hmm. I was watching it. And I was like, I'm going to watch Suicide Squad. I haven't watched it in a while, and I mean, it's. I love the beginning of it. I love how they introduce all the all the characters. The neon kind of light things that they were doing, and their little backstories and stuff like that. I love that. That was cool. And especially throwing in Batman in there and the Flash. How they got caught and kind of things and like that.
I love that.
I love that. Even up to the point where they're even going into the city into Midway City to, start, battling or do do the mission. My favorite part in the whole movie is Deadshot. Especially that one part where he's on top of the car and she's like, brah, brah, brah,
yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna run, I'm here to,
and then he's like, that's how I cut.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, and that's when I told you, I was like, dude, how would you guys feel about a standalone Deadshot movie with Will Smith reprising the role, with kind of slightly backstory, of how he became and started doing what he's doing, and some type of story developing from there.
Yeah, I mean, I would enjoy that because, like I said, he's probably one of the best parts of that. He's probably one of the best parts in that movie aside from Margot Robbie. But yeah, I mean,
because if you kind of think about it, Margot Robbie did get her own movie, but they just named it different.
Yeah, and at that it was almost something completely different,
Yeah, and then even at that too, like when a lot of people were going to go watch it, a lot of these young kids that were girls that were watching, they were all dressed in Harley Quinn stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's why people were like confused, like, is this a Harley Quinn movie or is this a Birds of Prey movie?
Yeah, what's the Birds of Prey?
And then even at movie theaters, when you would go buy the ticket, the people were like, "What?" So then they're like, "The Harley Quinn." They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, the Harley Quinn movie." It's like,
yeah. So there's been a bunch of mess with that. Hopefully this this puts us on a right path to get things that are not a mess. Like, because I remember that first Suicide Squad trailer had a completely different tone from what the movie was actually. And I wish we would see that. Yeah. But we're reaching that point. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to dive into something a little different. And we can come back.
Be right back.
Welcome back, guys. And we are back from break. Geekin Drinkin episode 42. And we just got done talking about, some HBO Max news, the biggest announcement of 2020, which was we are finally getting the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Snyder. Schneider. Every time I say Snyder, I think about Rob Schneider. You can do it. So
I think my favorite role from Rob Schneider is his role in 50 First Dates.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Big Kahunga.
Hey, I forgot what he says. He's all like, he's talking to his kids. Yeah. He's all, put your sister down or something. Something stupid.
Hey, you're gonna hurt yourself. Here's how the master does it.
So yes, we just want to talk about some of that news up top. Before we get into our.
I have one more thing to say about it, and just by the way, we are drinking
Künstler
Helles. from Künstler Brewing Co. So
delicious.
go check them out.
It's super. I mean, it looks light, but it has like a real.
It's a real good crisp taste.
Exactly. Like it's real crisp, refreshing, and it goes down super smooth. So I think that's always a good thing. I love it.
It's good but bad thing. It makes you want more. But no, just so like we were saying, we were talking about HBO Max and some of the stuff that it has. My only issue with it too right now. Obviously is the DC part of it. I mean, some of the other stuff that's on there too that doesn't have everything right now, but the app just came out a few days ago. Yeah. It's still developing. A lot of stuff is going to come to it, but in the DC part of it, I find it really odd that it has Batwoman season 1 on there.
The CW show,
which is the CW show.
Is that the only CW show it has on there?
Yeah.
So. Which is weird because, again, some other news, Ruby Rose stepped down as Batwoman. Ruby Rose. And then apparently they're not going to stop. They're going to make a second season.
Yeah, they're going to make a
second
season, but they're going to obviously they're going to recast because they were already getting ready to do the second season, and then she just straight up like, I don't want to do it no more.
I wonder if it's because of the backlash. I wonder if she
supposedly it was because of schedule conflicts and stuff like that, but there was a report that came out, and I didn't get to read it. She broke silence of why she left the show, but I didn't get to read it, so I don't know the official reason why she left. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure you guys out there probably read that. So
sorry, got a little pain in my stomach.
But yeah, I just kind of find it that it's weird. And how you mentioned, Doom Patrol's on there, but not Titans.
Right.
Swamp Thing went to the CW, which is I think that was kind of awkward as well.
I wonder if I hadn't looked, but. Because I've always since it came out, but I don't have DC Universe. I wanted to watch that Harley Quinn animated series because I hear it's good.
Yeah, I hear that one's really good. I wonder.
Too. I haven't even checked that one.
No, it's not on there. It's not on there. You're just like Young Justice is not on there. That's still part of the DC Universe, which is one of my favorite shows. I really loved the 3rd season. It was really good.
3 seasons, right?
Yeah, it's only 3 seasons, which it took like a long time for this 3rd season to even come out.
They kind of did what Clone Wars did, kind of like they stopped and then they did one last season.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the last season, but yeah, it's kind of like what they did. They waited like a long while. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, there's just a kind of bit of things with that right now. But again, this is a freshly new app. Hopefully, more stuff's gonna come out.
Just be patient,
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up another beer. I know, aside from the Hellas, which is delicious, you told me to grab another beer, and I looked in there and I saw you bought this other one, and I was like, I gotta have it. Künstler Brewing presents the Pink Brute. What's Pink Brute? That's a nice name for a color. I mean, I think of pink. I think of something like some fruity, dragon fruit, whatever, passion fruit, all that stuff. It's a strawberry and raspberry Brute IPA, which sits at 6.8% alcohol.
Which is, I'm curious how it's gonna taste too. This is gonna be my first time trying this one. Once I finish the Hellas, but I'm real curious about it too because of the fact that it's a Brute IPA with raspberry in it, and we've had a couple of beers with raspberries in them, but they were sours.
Yeah, sours or saisons.
Yeah, so I'm really curious of how this is gonna taste.
I love a beer that looks like that. Beautiful. Nice. So Steven, like I said, last episode, we did a deep dive into Joker. We talked about all the hype leading up to it. We talked about the score. We talked about the actors, the director, everything. I love about you. How you keep doing that? But so that's something that I at least I really enjoyed doing. I'm not sure how you felt about it. And I think we decided to let's keep this going a little bit. Let's every episode let's tackle something different. Of course we're gonna get the news. I enjoyed it. That's a gift. That's a gift, sir. You need to start charging people for that. So
donate $1 to Geekin Drinkin.
Right, there you go. Patreon coming soon. You get one of the top tiers. You get Steven burping your name.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
No one saw that. The boogies. Corona. Just kidding.
Hand sanitizer.
So today we decided to tackle a TV show, and it's a pretty big tackle because it's they have multiple seasons, and some of them better than the others, but for the most part, I enjoy this show. It's probably one of my favorite shows aside from Friends. It probably is one, and is my favorite show.
Definitely in my top 3.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, Friends is not in my top 3.
So. But
so
I mean,
you know, are we gonna tell them what we're doing, or are we gonna have them guess?
let's have them guess a little bit.
Have
I
'em
mean,
guess
I
a
mean,
little
if they, I don't think did we say it? We haven't said it, right?
No, we haven't said it.
Are you sure? I don't know.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
Haven't said it. Haven't said nothing. Let's see. What will we be talking about
Today.
Well, please. Can anybody guess?
Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess?
Anybody guess?
No?
Can anybody guess? No, not nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing? No. How about this?
That's what she said.
And that is right. We will be talking about The Office.
The Office. Oh my god. Dude, I love this show like so much.
I'm Prison Mike.
I'm trying to find the year that the show actually came out. From what I'm seeing, it came out in 2012, season 1.
Sounds about right.
A little static. Yes. So, you know, obviously, if you have a Netflix account, you know, The Office is probably one of the most binged shows, or you know, either replayed. For me, I honestly
Dwight,
can't.
you ignorant slut.
Oh, we're gonna have lots of fun. Oh, let me try this beer fast.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about the beer. How did I forget about the beer? Shame on me.
God.
Oh.
Just boom.
Again, this
That
is
is one of the best IPAs I've ever had, dude.
This is from Künstler Brewing Company.
Holy shit.
Here in San Antonio, Texas. This is the Pink Brute Strawberry and Raspberry Brute IPA.
Damn.
With a 6.8% alcohol volume.
And it does not taste like an IPA. I
And
mean,
it
it is a
doesn't-
brute, so it's a
yeah.
little less bitter. You know, well, it's still bitter, but the
No, really. I mean, because usually I would be like, "Ugh."
yeah, it usually has that initial aftertaste after you drink it. You know, like, you know it's an IPA. Yeah. But this, it's super smooth. Like, oh my goodness, that's so good. I can't get over it. Oh, okay. Trying to get back on track. Yes, The Office starring Steve Carell, John Krasinski, Jenna Fisher, Rainn Wilson, and it just Ed Helms,
BJ Novak,
Mindy Kaling. You know, it was also a
Mindy
start for a lot of
Kaling.
these actors. You know, because like
Craig Robinson.
yeah, Darrow. Who else? I forgot. I'm trying to
Rashida Jones. Is it
Rashida Jones. There you go, Rashida Jones. Like just
And that's only because she was only on one season.
yeah, one season, and
And
she
that really sparked, you know,
Yeah.
her up and I mean, I think she was already, you know, doing other stuff, but like that's where she really got recognized, and then she moved on to Parks and Rec from there.
which
so.
I'll admit, I like her character better in Parks and Rec than I like
Yeah.
her in this one. Pam's kind of a bitch. But this is probably one of the most quoted shows other than Friends for me and you. Like, you know, we just this the stuff that Michael says and throughout this whole series is just like, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some of the stuff he says is so funny. It's so out there.
And some of the stuff he does is, oh my god, so cringeworthy. And you know what episode I'll be mentioning on that one when we get to it pretty soon. But
There's one episode that I just cannot watch.
yeah,
There's one episode.
I always skip it. I always skip it. I cannot watch it. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I just can't.
I mean, so for those of you who don't know, this is the American version of The Office. There is one season of the British version starring Ricky Gervais, who plays Michael Scott's character.
And it's totally different name too. Which he also makes a cameo in one of the episodes.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's a different name. Yeah, he doesn't go by Michael Scott. But if you watch the first episode for the Ricky Gervais Office and you watch the first episode of this one, they're like almost shot by shot the same. The jokes are the same. Like you could, and at that, like, I think season 1 of The Office is probably one of the most dated like seasons of a television show that I've ever watched. Only because they were really trying to find their groove.
They were still actually using videotapes.
Yeah.
In those first 2 seasons.
And even then, like just the way everybody looked just looked I don't know how to say like just it just looks dated. Like
I don't want to say it, but they like we can see their acne kind of thing.
yeah, like Phyllis has like gray hair. Like she looks older than she did in later seasons. There's certain characters that come out in season 1 that that don't reappear again, or like one of them gets fired or whatever. Like Pam is, I don't know, like it's just weird. Like, and in the first couple of seasons, of course, Dwight, was the one that like kind of like got on he's like the annoying character, like
Cross me and I will destroy you.
but that's the beauty of a show like this, is that like when it starts off on a rocky as path that season 1 started off at. Even season 2, like it's season
2 did kind of start a little slow.
I honestly because this is one of the shows that I could just put on the background, and when I'm washing dishes or just even sitting there, I'm not even paying attention, I'm on my phone and I have it in the background, I could just look up and down.
It's still available on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
so
I know that there was new like
talk of it
that's gonna come off, and it's gonna only be available on the NBC app.
Yeah, and I think
stuff
eventually
like
that's gonna happen. Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. That these companies are getting more streaming services that they want to just take back their own and distribute it themselves.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. Like
the Dundies.
I could honestly, because I finished the show. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched and rewatched the whole series. And every time I restart it, I always start it from season 2, episode 1. That's just me. Like I first season is fine. It's great. It's not my favorite season, obviously. For me, it's skippable. Like I could skip it. Season 2 starts off. It kind of just.
I just didn't like the way Michael had his hair slicked back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he just looks older. Like he looks like everybody just looks different.
And he totally changes. They totally changed his look in season 2. You could totally tell that they totally changed it.
Yeah,
his hair was all parted and looked
so,
nicer.
And that's just with any show. A show progresses. Season 1 of Friends is. It's good, but it's it's just dated. It's so old, like Joey has like this parted hair.
Yeah,
like
weird.
it's just weird, So, shows take a while to find their feet, and The Office, found it in season 2. And they took that ball and they ran with it for as long as they could. Granted, yes, the later seasons are they're a little rocky. Some people don't even like them. They stop watching once Micheal Scott leaves. That's when people cut it off. And I'll tell you right now, and we'll get to it a little later too. Give those last 2 seasons another shot. Give them another shot, because I was on that boat too, to where, like, when Michael left, the show kind of went downhill. After rewatching it recently, those last 2 seasons, I'm like, no, they really didn't. Like they were funny. Like there were some really really good episodes. Granted, there are some things, when with one particular character that I just do not like, and I cannot stand him, and that's Andrew Bernard, because he is acting manager in those last 2 seasons, and I just cannot stand him. But then going back and watching the whole show, I realized I could never stand Andy. Like that's just his character, That's just the way he's always been. Dwight was that character for a little while, the first 2 seasons, where he was just kind of the annoying one, or just,
the annoying one,
like who couldn't take a joke, or whatever. Like he was just, but when they introduced Andy, because obviously,
almost a forgotten character if you kind of think about it. If they didn't make him kind of redeem himself, and if they didn't bring out Andy.
Yeah. I honestly because the way Dwight was in the first 2 seasons, like his character arc throughout the whole series is probably one of the best of any show. His storyline, what he goes through, like it eventually gets to the point in the last seasons where he's like, these people are my friends, and these are my best friends, and like that's in a sense really sweet, because he's always kind of like been the ass kisser of the office, like the always at Michael's side, doing what Michael says, and it's funny, like it's hilarious. But then he starts going through the things he goes through with Angela, and then
I definitely did not like the love interest relationship that they gave him and Aaron.
Dwight and Aaron?
Andy and
and Aaron. I felt like their relationship could have worked if they did it sooner. By the time they actually got to it, to where they were actually a couple, it just like it was played out already. Like they've been like one of them liked them, and then the other one was in a relationship, and then and then Aaron breaks up with Gabe, and then Annie's in a relationship. It's just like back and forth until finally they get together, and it's just like, and he treats her like shit the whole time, and then eventually she gets with Plop.
Plop.
So what? Okay, I mean, I'm trying to think of a good question to ask you. What are some of your favorite parts about this show as a whole? What stands out to you when someone mentions The Office? What's the one thing that stands out to you like that? That's why I like this show.
The characters, definitely the characters. I love a lot of the characters. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not a big Jim fan at the very beginning. Like I was like, how the hell is this guy gonna be kind of funny? Like, yeah, he's playing all these jokes and stuff on Dwight and blah blah blah. That's funny. But to me, that was like, he's a bully. He's a bully. He's just picking on him because Dwight was weird. And I think I've always liked Dwight. I've always really connected to him because someone who's been picked on himself. Kind of felt for him and I'm not gonna lie. When I was in school, I was a little brown noser, his teacher's pet and stuff like that.
Oh, you heard it first here, people.
So I guess that's why I got along more with liking Dwight's character more than Jim's. I just really didn't think about it. But then Jimmy as a character started developing more. I don't want to say he redeemed himself, but he definitely grew as a character.
I felt like his character arc goes like kind of like,
and no offense,
up and down.
but like with Jim too was like, this guy's a creep. Like he's obsessed and in love with someone that's already engaged and stuff like that.
See, and like for instance, because that's always been a kind of thing with these shows. With Friends, it was put out there in the beginning that Ross liked Rachel, and then eventually, throughout the whole series, they have their relationship, they have their arcs, but at the end of the show, they end up together. That's like the main thing of the show. I think that's always been the backbone of that show, is that Ross and Rachel. Again, even though I didn't like it, How I Met Your Mother, it said out in the first episode that Ted likes Robin.
It was always.
And even though I didn't like the way that show ended, he ended up with Robin. Okay. That was that they said that's what they set out to do. This one, and it was put in the beginning of the show that Jim loves Pam, but their like arc kind of like happens early on in the series. Like they get married, and it's sweet. It's like probably one like it's like I love it, but after they get married and have kids, they just kind of blend in with everything else. And at that point, Dwight's the standout character. Dwight's the one carrying the show, in my opinion. Because like his arc has just always gone up.
Dude,
up.
He was a player.
Dwight
was a player.
Yes, I love when he starts talking to the bridesmaid. What's her name?
I want to say Wendy.
No,
I don't think it's Wendy. I can't think of it. But one of my favorite episodes is when
Isabel
is when everybody wants to go hang out at this bar that
like a Dave and Buster's type of thing.
Yeah, kind of Dave and Buster's kind of thing, and like
at the time during that episode, he has a love contract with Angela to I guess just to have intercourse and to eventually have a kid. Like they have a contract.
Yeah,
so they're not really in a relationship,
not dating,
but they're still like a thing. And
well, for her it's a thing. For
yes.
him, it's just straight up just a contract.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and she's like, oh hey, and
yeah,
he's
hey
and
you.
He's like ooh, and he goes, man, good height.
Yeah, and he's just like, and she's like, she loves it, like she's all into it, and then that's like probably like that's what I love about Dwight, that like he is the person he is, like he's still like he has those moments where he's like, oh, like this dude is fucking cool, like I love it. Going back to your point on Jim, how you're like, oh, I don't really, connect with him all that much. One of the episodes I don't like him in is, there's a couple episodes where I don't like Jim, but there's one of them where the snowball fight, Where he just
yeah.
because he's like, oh, it's snowing outside, and Dwight's all like, oh, doesn't it just make you special, little girl? Like, you know, and he goes out, gets a snowball, and he just throws it in Dwight's face.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and
he was a bully.
that was an asshole thing to do.
That was a jerk thing.
But what I like about it is that Dwight takes it to the next level. All right, and I'm gonna terrorize you, and he starts terrorizing him, and even to the point where Jim like tries to get him with the snowball with that lacrosse thing, whatever you call it, like that one. I'm just like, what would happen if he hit him? But he breaks the window, and like he just looks like the bad guy. And like, and then at the end, like that's why I like the episode, because at the end, Jim gets what he deserves. He starts going crazy because Dwight built all the snowmen, and Jim's going crazy because he thinks Dwight's hiding.
And at one point, he was hiding in the snowman.
Yeah, but then he's just on the roof, like watching him going crazy. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I love that part. God damn, we're already at 22 minutes.
You know, I really would have appreciated a heads up that you were into dating mothers. I would have introduced you to mine.
And then, like, I think there was, I forgot exactly what happened in the show, but like Dwight admits that, like, oh yeah, Pam's one of my best friends. Like I'm like, oh, but that's at that point in the show, it's kind of wrapping up towards the end.
He really redeemed himself.
Yeah, God man, he carries that show so well. But like you said, one of your favorite things about this show is the characters. And yes, because all these characters in that office have something going on for them.
Another one that I like, but what she really had to develop throughout the seasons was also Angela.
Yes. Okay. I thought you were gonna say Kelly, but
I think through every season she really annoyed me. I hate to say it, but she really annoyed me.
First off, how dare you? There was one episode where it's the episode where Michael has two jobs. Remember? Where he's, so the next day he's supposed to do a PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint. But like, and then he doesn't do it. At one point, I
have to load it. It's gonna take about 12 minutes. That's like about 5 minutes.
Yes, and then but at one point, like Ryan says like whom, but then the whole office starts getting into a conversation like when's the correct way to use whom, and they start like, and then I think Pam's all like, whom is when you're talking about an object and whatever, and then like Kelly, and it's real subtle. Kelly in the background's all like, Ryan used me as an object. I was just like, I saw that today. I started laughing. She's just like, but she's all
it's like those pun lines like that she would say were funny, but like some of the other stuff is just like. But I did like when they meshed her with Aaron, because they were both into pop culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when they're driving to Pam and Jim's wedding, and Andy's driving, he's like, if one of y'all want to come and sit up in the front with me, and
they're like, oh no, because
no, we're having so much fun back here.
Yeah.
And it's like you're a limo driver.
Yeah, like yes, but you were talking about Angela, and we have about 5 more minutes. So we'll take a break, just a heads up, and could we stop her fast. But it's a bad thing about having a good conversation going is that we have to pause real fast because there's just equipment, But yeah, but yes, Angela had a very good arc throughout the show, and. Like towards the end, like she gets the shit in the stick as far as like,
and then not only with her relationship with Dwight, but also her relationship with Oscar.
Yes, dude, I love that. That's what I'm saying. Like every character has something going on for them,
and that's why I say that when you say what's the most thing that stands out for me in when it comes to The Office, it's the characters because it's not like you can only quote one person. I mean, even though Micheal Scott's got so many of them, but the main one for Micheal Scott is always that's what you said. That's what you said. Yeah. And even that one time in that one episode where Dwight got the concussion and
the doctor
and he goes, "That's what she said," and the doctor's like,
"That's
a good one."
Yeah,
it's like, "That's my joke. That's my joke."
But even then, like like going back to that, one of the last episodes, when Dwight's finally getting married, and Michael comes back, and he's like, it was a surprise, and he's like, "You finally came." That's what she said. And it's just like, he just says one thing, and it's just like, yes, he's back. Like, I love it. But yes, I will agree with you that every single character in the show, like I said, I keep saying, has something going on for them. And because I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw this series, I remember when me and you started watching it because I remember you used to buy the DVDs and we used to watch them. Back then, I used to watch the show for Michael. That was all I watched it for, is because he was the funniest thing about the show.
Access denied.
Go to 101soundboards.com to access this sound.
Whoa.
Yes, but when I first initially watched the show, it was all from Micheal Scott. It was all for Steve Carell. He was the standard of the show. As I watched, more and more this, as I watched the series more and more, it really stood out to me that, man, like, the show is great, not because him, it's because of everybody else, like, yeah, at the beginning it was kind of rocky, everybody's kind of find their feet, but once they find their feet, like, it's the best show. Like, I think one of the best things ever was when they do the little dance montages, like when Toby is filming them doing the dance and Michael's doing the magic and everybody's dancing, like, that was awesome. And then like when no, and then when it's Daryl's last day at Dunder Mifflin, all they want to do is dance with him, and that's how the show ends. Like, they're all just dancing with him. At Pam and Jim's wedding, they do the dance. Like, that's when you see these characters who, like, were always at, like, each other's necks, like, just coming together, and they're a family, and, like, that's what makes the show sweet. Like, it's just like, that's what makes me love the show. Like, it's weird. Like, it's just, like, I see those moments, I'm like, oh, like, that's cool. Like, seeing Dwight say, like, that Pam is one of his best friends. Seeing Jim, kind of confining Dwight, when Angela started dating Andy and Dwight was heartbroken and Jim almost opens up to him and Dwight's crying in the stairway and he, like, reaches out for and Jim's gone. He's like, oh. And then he comes back in the office and like pushes his stuff. Yeah, like, stuff like that. Like, or like,
I don't mean to stop you, but
yes.
We're gonna get to that point. So we'll get back to it. We're gonna talk more Office. Again, this is like one of our favorite shows. Definitely one of my top 3. Probably number 2 for me because my number 1 is Scrubs, but definitely number 2. And we'll be right back.
And we are back again, episode 42 of Geekin and Drinking. Stephen Eddy here, and we were drinking beer from Künstler Brewery here in San Antonio, Texas. Earlier we were drinking the Haus Strela, which is a Munich Haus, sitting at 5.1, which is a very delicious beer. Check it out. And then we started opening it up and drinking this. Probably one of the best beers I've ever had in my life. Like, it's that good. And if you guys want to check it out, this is the Pink Brute. It's a strawberry and raspberry brute IPA, sitting at 6.8. And you could get these at Künstler Brewing Company here in San Antonio, Texas. We're going to provide links in the description. Search them on social media. Visit the brewery. Once all this all this Corona stuff kind of settles down a little bit. Hopefully, but you could also get beers to go, I believe, right?
Yes, definitely beers to go. So, some of the things with their beers to go that I noticed, because again, I've been to Künstler before, but I've never gotten to beers to go before. So this was the first time that I did beers to go. Some of their beers are only served in just the crowlers, and others.
And a crowler is this giant beefy can.
Beefy cans, like 32 ounces.
Delicious.
And then others are
16 ounce.
are served not only in the crowlers but also in 4-pack 16 ounces. Which I'm surprised that. Excuse me, I'm surprised that the Brute was available in the 16 ounce because the alcohol level was more than the Helles.
That's probably why they didn't put this one in that one. Cause
you could get it in the crowler.
Oh, you could?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could get it in the crowler or 4-pack.
Let me ask you, what made you get the Brute IPA?
The strawberry and raspberry.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about strawberry raspberry lately, dude. Like, we're on a raspberry train.
It's so great.
It's so good. Yeah, honestly, I'm not even joking. Like, one of the best beers. It's beautiful. It tastes delicious. It goes down super smooth. Usually with IPA, it kind of get a little bitter, like aftertaste. This one, all you get is the strawberry, raspberry, and the Brute. Like, it's so good. Check it out, Künstler Brewing. And we're going to get back to this amazing conversation we're having right now about The Office. For those of you who watch The Office, you know. And for those of you who haven't seen The Office, what are you doing? Come on. It's on Netflix right now. Watch it. I mean, just have it on the background. Watch it. It's probably one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, a little bit of radio silence. Take my drink real fast.
And I'm sorry, I'm just looking for something.
So one thing we've talked about with this, I think the main standout for this show, or the main thing that stands out about this show that me and Steven obviously gravitate towards too, is the characters.
And again, it's not only because I just started thinking about it because I was watching somebody else, because I'm trying to look for a quote. But another thing that stands out for me is not only just about the characters themselves, but the actors themselves show more than just their acting talent in this show. You have Andy playing the banjo and singing all the time.
You have Craig Robinson doing the same thing with the piano.
With the piano. Even Dwight, guitar and singing like that. I mean, these people, really shined in this show and in their roles. They definitely put more than just what their parts were supposed to be. Is what I say. Yeah,
you know what? Like I said, we mentioned earlier, all the actors that have been on the show. Obviously when the show first came out, the main standout was Steve Carell. He was the one that was well known. He was the star of the show.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know anybody in the show.
Yeah, and so but from this show, some particular ones, went on to do bigger, and but all of them are doing good things, but. You have John Krasinski, Jim, who went on to, be an actor. He went on to director. He started this Good News, which he just and stop giving him shit for starting his show. Stop giving him shit, leave him alone.
Yeah. Wait, what happened?
Hold on.
Yeah. Wait, what happened?
All this quarantine stuff happened.
Yeah. And I know he started
doing that Good News. Kind of
podcasting.
Yeah,
And he had a lot of the
guests from The Office on there.
Yeah.
Well, he sold it to CBS. He sold his show to CBS. And
what?
And people are giving him shit like that. He sold out.
Dude, that motherfucker sold out a long time ago before it did. So come on. I'm just saying.
Emily Blunt. But they become one of America's favorite couples. Favorite families. You have Mindy Kaling, who went on to write and act and star in other things. Who else? Who else on the show is?
Mindy Kaling. She went on to did the Mindy Project.
You have Angela,
and then she even came out in a movie which I still want to see. God, what was it called? It's on Amazon. The late show or something show. It's kind of like I don't know, but anyway, it's on Amazon. I'll think of it later. What's her name? The girl that played Erin. What's her name?
God, I know you're talking about. You're talking about Kimmy Schmidt, right?
Yeah, she went on to Netflix to do the
Unbelievable,
the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix. Obviously, John Krakowski, Mike Krakowski, Jim Halper,
Ellie Kemper.
Yes, thank you. John
Krasinski.
Yeah. God, this brute's so good.
Yeah, this brute's so good.
He went on to do other movies, and he went on to do direct
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place and
Quiet Place 2.
And directing A Quiet Place 2. Andy Bernard, Ed Helms,
who obviously found success in all the movies he's done, Hall Pass,
and not only that, but the Hangover series, the Hangover movies.
You have
BJ Novak was already a
writer
and producer, who also came out in small parts, but his main thing in Hollywood, I guess you could say, is that he does a lot of writing and producing. Zach Woods went on to go.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's Zach Woods. Silicon Valley, who's probably one of the best roles I've seen.
Yeah, do Silicon Valley, and then he did the movie on Netflix, Mascots.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, he's freaking hilarious in that one. Dude, I love him. I love him. I did not like Zach Woods in, speaking of Zach Woods, I did not like him in The Office. He was kind of a weirdo also.
And that's this thing in the
But-
show that he's a weirdo. Like, I remember when I think Kelly hugs him, she goes, "Ooh." He's just all skinny. Like,
But I really, really, really loved him in Silicon Valley. I mean, oh my God, he was.
I think he shined in that show.
Yeah. I mean, he was just he was hilarious.
Damn, dude. Okay, I know I'm opening right now, dude. I keep telling you that these chairs are a little uncomfortable. I'm sweating. My ass is like wet. I'm afraid to get up and my butt's gonna be wet. I'm putting that out there.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I gotta put this fan on my booty. But yeah, like all these, and then you got the you got a couple of people coming into the show that are well-known actors. You have
Craig Robinson himself, he went on to do.
well, I mean, he's always been part of it. I'm talking about like you have Amy Ryan who played Holly. She's a well-known actor.
Yeah.
You have God damn it, what's his name? I just had it right here. Robert California.
Spade. He played the voice of Ultron.
Yes.
God dang it.
James Spader.
Yes.
James Spader. You have Will Ferrell coming for a few episodes, which is probably the worst, cameo in this entire series.
I mean, I love Will Ferrell, but man, sometimes he just goes too much over the top.
And that one, I just felt like it was him trying to do Micheal Scott times 100.
Yeah.
And it just didn't fit. Like, he just came off as an asshole. And then they killed him off really quick. You have Jim Carrey, who made a quick cameo as a Fingerlinks guy.
But that was funny. He's like, yeah, I'm actually supposed to be with my family camping, but they think I went to go.
You have Ray Romano, who did a quick cameo, to fill the the manager position. You had shit, what's her name? Damn it, I'm trying to find it. You had sorry guys, I know it's a little dead air, but I'm trying to
sorry about this.
Forgot the name. Joan Bennett. What's the name of the actress? Joan, who plays Joe.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Okay, yeah, Kathy. You have Kathy Bates.
But a lot of those actors didn't even start coming out to like later on, and especially around the time when Steve Carell was getting ready. Well, he was there with when Kathy Bates' character was.
Oh
there.
yeah, he was. Yes.
Because she goes, oh yeah, anytime you want to come to Florida, just let me know. And he's like already planning it. And everything. And she kind of gets annoyed, like, just stop it. And he's like,
you know like what?
I don't get it. She tells me I can come over. Then she goes at me.
And then you had David Kushner, who plays Todd Packer. Obviously, he was with Steve Carell and Anchorman.
He was probably one of the well-known characters.
Yeah.
In the show because he had already been doing other show stuff, movies. He was like you said, Anchorman. He was a champ, and then he had already had his own show on Comedy Central. I can't pronounce his name. What's his name? What's
David Kushner.
David Kushner, and I think it was like and the trucker or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's something like that. And so I mean, there was just a lot of things with him. Just real quick, I just want to play. This is the kind of the sound clip, but going back to Zach Woods and how he kind of shined. He shined in The Office, and then he really did shine in Silicon Valley. So this was from season 1. Technical difficulties. Not really. Just being retarded here.
I got it.
There we go. Right. This is like when
to pay the piper, right? What if there was an app called Pied Piper that could tell you to a statistical degree of certainty whether you were going to heaven or hell? Very interested, somewhat interested, not interested. Which one?
Which one?
Which one?
Which one? Which one? Which one? I like when he starts getting all like street, like what's up, like what's up, bitch. Like, he starts
there was that one when they're going to look for that gamer, He's like, how would you like to beat your ass, motherfucker? It's like, oh damn.
He gets all like street. But yes, obviously he, I think he really shined in Silicon Valley. He was good for his role in The Office. He did play that weird guy, and he nailed it. But yes, it's just just the show in general. Had a lot of actors come in and out. It really helped boost some actors that are out there. I know right now, like Jenna Fisher and Angela Kingsley, who played Pam and Angela. They're like the best of friends now. They even have their own podcast, the Office Ladies.
They were always best friends. Because they talk about the show, and they really hit it off and stuff like that. And then they did Office Ladies.
Yeah, and if you
podcast
listen to Office Ladies, they go through every episode of The Office, and they kind of like give their behind the scenes.
I love when they have Oscar Nunez on there, who plays Oscar, and he starts talking about the whole kiss between him and Michael.
I haven't seen the episode.
Supposedly that wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be kind of like a hug kind of thing. But then he starts saying, he goes, but then he gets this look in his face, and he starts coming towards me. And then next thing I know, our lips are touching. Like,
I gotta listen to that. I gotta listen to it. Like, see stuff like that. Like stuff that was improv. Like, I would never thought.
And that's what I'm saying. With this show, there was a lot of improv in it.
And that's kudos for him for not like breaking character and like, well, what are you doing? No, like he's like, okay, and he was probably a little weirded out about it, and it shows in the scene. But it's organic. Like it's. I did it. I did it. Yeah, and like, I don't know, like that, like an Oscar, that's probably one of the characters that, when he first started off in the show, he was just one of the background characters. It wasn't until
he was definitely a background.
It wasn't until the gay witch hunt, was when he, his character started to develop a little more, because obviously it was revealed that he was gay. And and Michael and Dwight are trying to deal with it the best way they can, and they don't know how to deal with it. Like even Dwight doesn't even know, and like, what's I call it? Like that's when his character starts really developing, and especially toward the end, like we mentioned earlier, with him and Angela, like that's like he starts having an affair with the senator, and then like he eventually helps Angela with, takes her in, helps with the baby, like to where they're actually like and then like Kevin's over here like Philip. All I hear is Philip. I hate Philip. It's just like it's hilarious.
The other thing too that I like is
Sorry, guys. We had a little technical difficulties. I'm not sure if you heard any of that. We're just talking about, we were just disconnecting some stuff, so you probably just missed a couple of, minutes, or not minutes, but a couple of seconds of what we were talking about. But yeah, I mean,
did it turn off when I put it on?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good. I'm sure, it wasn't a lot. But yes, we were just talking about just the character, and again, the characters, that's the backbone of this show, is the characters. Like, you may not realize when you first watch it, but I mean, shit, like the arcs these people go through. I mean, okay, let's go through some of our favorite arcs. I see the time. I got it here. So some of our favorite arcs. Obviously, we said Dwight. We said Angela. The whole Pam and Jim thing. Like I said,
that was already kind of given. I mean, we already knew something was gonna happen.
Yeah, like once they reached the point to where they got married, like obviously it was sweet. It's kind of what we wanted to see, and we got it. And they got their wedding that they wanted. It was great episode. They're married. Eventually, she gets pregnant. Oh no, she's pregnant already, right? When they're married. Yes, because Michael tells the grandmother that.
Yeah. No,
Jim
actually is like, so everyone raise your glass, and
he's always, except for Pam for obvious reasons.
Except for Pam for obvious reasons. It's like, why obvious?
Yeah. So it's just like,
did I say that?
So
and then just like straight up, Pam's pregnant. Like, oh dude, what the hell? Like,
so like that's, I guess, the thing I really don't like with the whole Pam and Jim story arc. There are a couple of things, especially after they get married. It's at one point where like they're just struggling with the kids, and like Pam's like worn out and
Rough. It was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. Like I guess that's what the show was. That's what it was supposed to do.
Especially that one episode where he tries to bring the kids in.
They're just crying.
After they had the little boy and like everyone's like giving him shit about it because he took a whole week off because of he's the jury duty as an excuse. And then when they finally saw like all the struggle, and they're like
just go home.
They're like Jim, it's cool, it's all right, go, and he's like, go home, take the day off. And then like even Daryl was like, yeah, man, we got this, we got you. And then I like when they cut to Daryl, he was like, if that's what Jim was putting up with the whole week, there was no vacation.
No vacation. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, and we all know what it feels like right now. The kid's not being in school. Yeah. My son is going crazy right now, but yeah,
every moment that you bring him over to see our son SJ's just like, yes, Elijah's coming over. So.
That's cool. So yeah, and then like, of course, once you get to the later seasons, and I'm trying to see, we're so good. Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break because there's definitely some other things about.
And then we're gonna
on not really some of the main characters, but some of the background characters that made a mark on the show that I really would love to. Talk
and then
about.
we'll also get into some of the things that we don't like.
Yeah, so we'll be right back.
And that sound could only mean one thing, and we are back. We got some beers. We drained the main vein. For those who don't know, went to the potty, the restroom.
My back teeth were floating.
Hey, I don't know what that means, but it sounds dirty.
I just gotta go pee.
For those of you who you just come back, whatever. Episode 42. Of course, we are geeking and drinking. We're geeking about The Office, and we're drinking
about The Office, and definitely drinking some good ass beer.
Künstler Brewing Pink Brute Strawberry and Raspberry Brute IPA. Man,
I'm glad I picked this one because there was another one I was almost gonna get. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with the strawberry.
Can you tell me what the other one is?
It was the brown ale.
Brown ale?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which I was really... They also sold it in a 4-pack.
I haven't had a brown ale in a while.
I was kind of like, which one? Because I definitely wanted us to feature Hellas because of, the fact that the recipe was made by Dan Gomez, original Gomez, who's also the founder of San Antonio Cerveceros, which if you don't know San Antonio Cerveceros, I'd suggest you go check them out. It's I want to say sanantoniocerveceros.org or sacerveceros.org. We'll definitely look that up, and we'll put that on the here on the screen for you or in the info, so you could go check them out.
Yes.
And we like I said, we did an episode with them, and we also brewed a couple of we did 2 batches of the same beer of our blonde ale, which we had named Atomic Blonde. So we were really proud of that, and it really came out good. A lot of our friends and family really loved it. So. Can't wait to start brewing again once everything's calmed down and we're able to get together and stuff like that. So, but before we left to the break, he's taking pictures over here.
Sorry. Some beautiful beer right now. I gotta take a picture before I drink it all.
We were talking about The Office, and that's gonna be our main topic of this episode. So, we're really big fans of The Office. Eddie, started watching the last couple of seasons of The Office, and because a lot of people were giving a lot of grief about the last 2 episodes, especially the seasons without Steve Carell, Micheal Scott.
And yes, to a certain extent, it loses a big part of the show.
Yeah, and that's why I want to talk about certain characters during that period. One of the characters that a lot of people didn't really... I think a lot of people didn't like because I heard some criticism about him. But I thought he was freaking hilarious. Especially for the part he was playing. And I was surprised that they got this character.
Can I take a guess?
But go ahead, take a guess.
Robert California.
Yes. James Spader's character, Robert California. Dude, I liked him. He had his moments. Because he was just like that guy that was just like, like, hey, you know, and it's like, you know, kind of serious at the time, and it's like,
You know, one of my favorite episodes with him.
nuisance, but then, you know, there were certain episodes where he just kind of like.
There was one episode with him. It's a Halloween episode where he like talks to everybody about what they fear the most. And at the end, he gives this speech and he like touches on everything. I'm like, he just like slaps everybody and just walks out. Like, it's the best thing. I'm like, wow. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, he was just that character that just kind of like
gets under your skin.
Like, under your skin. Another one that I liked of him is when he comes running in and Andy's already been promoted as regional manager, and he tells him, "My wife is looking for a job. After of no circumstance, do not hire her."
And then like
he puts him in the spot, and like the whole episode is like so tense, but it's funny, and he's like, "What do you mean you won't hire my wife? Why would you?" It's like,
he's just
like, this is outrageous. I'm the owner of this company.
Right? He goes, "I'm telling you to find something to do," and he's all like,
but like I mean, from the very beginning of Robert California's character that I really liked about him was after the interview when James explained. So when they announced who the person got, the regional manager after Micheal Scott left, and after D'Angelo got hurt. So like James explains, he goes, so they hired Robert California for the regional manager. He walked into the office and took one look and walked right out, drove all the way to Florida, Tallahassee, and convinced Joan to sell her own company to him.
Or no, he convinced Joan to step down as CEO, and he became acting CEO.
He becomes acting CEO, and then, you know,
that was such a clever and quick way to write off Kathy Bates' character, because we never see her after that again. Like, she was a pretty dominant character.
I think she came out. I want to say she came out maybe in one or two more episodes after that.
Like, just like a quick thing.
Yeah, just like a quick thing. But yeah, that was kind of like a quick way just to write off her character. But I mean, I just thought it was funny because it's like, and actually convinced Joan to step down as CEO and hire him as acting CEO. And then so now our regional manager is, and it's like, and then it shows Andy is like.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, okay, the first couple episodes where Andy's regional manager, you know, you could clearly tell that he's trying to give up that Micheal Scott vibe. One of the scenes is where where they show him and he like goes up to Jim's desk and he starts sitting on his desk and he's trying to like sit Indian style, like on top of Jim's desk. He's knocking everything over. He's like, "Oh, I just thought we just, you know, do a little rap sesh," like,
yeah, which was kind of like something that Micheal Scott did in like the first season or two.
Yeah, and like stuff like that. I'm just like, And there are some parts like, okay, when he first becomes manager and he's trying to boost morale, like trying to like get the troops to, trying to get his his employees to work harder. So he gives them an initiative like, all right, you guys, if you guys make this many sales today, I'm gonna let you guys.
I actually like that episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna let you guys tattoo me. That's when the episodes were like.
At first it was like, I'll do this or I'll do that or like, or I'll give you this and give you that, and then people are like, I mean, I don't know if that's really gonna push morale. Like Jim kept like
egging him on,
and then he goes, okay, how about this, and that's when he's like,
yeah,
I'll let you guys tattoo something on me.
Yes, and then like they just start working. He's all like, oh, like,
he's
like what's going on? He's like, oh, we're working. Like, and the thing that I like about it is that they're all working together. Like, you got Pam doing the calls, you got Jim making the sale, you got Angela making the confirmation. Like, they're all working together.
They're like in sync.
And you got Stanley. He's all, release the power of the pyramid. Like, he's like real into it. Like, you never seen Stanley like work that hard, and he's just like, oh shit. And then like,
and then at the end he goes, one day. It took him one
day to reach that goal. To the point where he gets tattooed and like he thinks he's gonna get something crazy, but then at the last minute they switch it up, and it's a Nord dog. Like that's honestly like one of the best episodes because
the whole thing they're also teasing him like, oh, draw a baby doing this or draw this. So he thought he was gonna get like this like outrageous tattoo, and
Yeah.
then like when they went to the tattoo parlor, Pam goes up
Switches
to
it
the
up.
they tell him the tattoo artist what they want, and then and at the last minute she goes, actually, can you do this?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
like, we made
he's
a few adjustments.
He's like seriously, like when he
And
does
she's
that,
all like, no, do this. Like, do
yeah,
this, do this.
when he's like seriously, and then like the tattoo artist says like seriously, it's like I was like, oh shit, what are they gonna do? Like, but then like it ends up being it goes he's all because I think then they gave him then they give him a bottle and he like chugged it so that he could numb himself.
Yeah.
And then he's all when they walk out with him, he's all like and then he goes, hold on, I want to see it. And then he goes, oh, it's a Narda.
See, like that. I think that's probably one of the episodes where like it kind of like it cements the fact, like, you know what, Steve Carell is gone, but this show's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Granted, there are some episodes after that, like it's just kind of like, like I said, like I think the one character that I just don't like in the show is Ed Helms' character, especially when he becomes manager, especially when he leaves for months on end on a boat.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Especially
but that's in the last season.
Yeah, but like it's just the worst. Like Dwight makes the biggest sale he could ever make with the white pages with Jen and Andy's first day back, and he sabages it.
Oh,
so
that
bad.
pissed me
Like, and then not only
off.
that, but then like he goes up to accounting. He's been gone for 3 months. He goes up to accounting. Oh, I'm just here to pick up my checks. Oh, you were gone, for 3 months. Okay, here's your checks.
And then
he's like, oh, what's that?
He's like, oh, what's that? And he goes,
Oh, it's a bonus check
it's a
because
bonus check.
we overperformed.
We made our quota. We passed our quota.
He goes, oh, okay, cool. Like a little bonus checky. Like,
and he's like,
you fucking asshole. Like,
that point, that's when I hate him. And then the way, like you said, the way he was also treating Aaron.
but see,
At the
the thing is,
time.
like, okay, I know me and you have always talked about it. Like, Andy is the worst character in this last
I
season.
don't say he's the worst character. I think he's just he's a
Okay,
dislikable character.
okay, yes, okay, thank you. Yes, he's not the worst character, but yes, he's really dislikable. But that's just the way his character is supposed to be portrayed as, and they did a good job at it, obviously, because they provoked us to not like him.
Because to be honest with you, I liked him when he was like an asshole. He's like, I'm gonna come at this, with a smile, firm handshake, and
When he goes to anger management, but then like.
I'm sorry that I bothered you with my French, with
my kindness.
kindness.
Yeah. But like, see, but then like I watch it, I continue to watch it. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's an asshole, because like he, I think he was updating his Twitter, but the whole time he wasn't writing Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like shit like that, like real asshole. But then I'm okay with it because at the end of the whole series, he kind of gets what he deserves. He quits, being regional manager to pursue his musical career in acapella in America's Next
Baby
Acapella
Wawa.
Sensation, and he gets humiliated, to the point where like he gets spoofs made out of him. So I'm just like, all right.
And again, there's cringy episodes. I'm just gonna say it right now, just so to get out of the way. Mike's Tots is one of
Scott's Tots.
Scott's Tots is one of the cringiest episodes, and every time when I'm rewatching The Office,
and that episode comes up,
I skip it.
I
Just
skip.
straight up skip it because it doesn't even
And that's not.
it doesn't even like relevant or like relate to anything else that's going on within that season. So
that's what I'm saying.
It's an easy episode. I
that's not a testament.
I hate it. And I hate it for the reason of so many reasons because
It's terrible.
The people involved also.
Terrible.
But it's just it's one of the most terrible episodes, that The Office ever made. I mean,
Okay. I wouldn't go as far as most terrible episode they made. It's just what they.
I would rather watch the first season of The Office than watch that episode.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like because what he does is just so bad.
It's just terrible.
It's bad.
And then in saying that, another cringy episode is when Andy's trying to make his career in music and go into that acapella thing.
America's Next Acapella Sensation.
and then he comes back. That's the old man. I'm like, for what, dude? Like, would you care?
Yeah.
It's like,
But even then, like even when on another episode where he does the same shit, where Nelly is the manager and then he gets fired. And then he goes to David Wallace to buy Dunder Mifflin back from Robert, California.
That wasn't it. She takes over as regional manager because
He's not there.
Because he's not there, and it wasn't because of the sailboat thing. That was when he was trying to win Erin back to come back to Scranton because she stayed in Florida.
No, when she was in Florida, he's manager.
Yeah, I know he's manager, but he's trying to get her to come back because she stayed in Florida.
Yeah,
you know how they were doing the whole pyramid thing.
Yes, and that's when Nelly becomes manager.
Yeah, because he went to go get Erin back.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say with that episode, because that's actually one of my favorite episodes. Well, it's got some good like punchlines and some good puns in it. Because and knowing the way he was when he first came out in the office, when he first went to Scranton trying to win Micheal Scott's approval, as a suck up, and then what happened there, why he had to go to anger management, and then with the events of Nelly being manager and
doesn't he punch the wall again?
And okay, he punches that same wall.
Same
He's like,
spot.
ah! And then fucking Daryl's like, he really hates that wall.
Yeah, but like, he starts acting like a janitor. And he starts mopping the carpet and like acting like, I'm
Okay. That was a different episode from the one that when he punched him.
Yeah,
that was
and then,
like the next few or something like that.
Yeah, and then again another one of the worst episodes. I mean, not one of the worst episodes, but just how bad of a person that he is that when Nelly is trying to adopt a kid and she needs a recommendation letter and he wouldn't write it for her, and then Erin starts crying because she's obviously a child of the system. She's a foster child
who never got adopted.
Yeah, and that's just so bad, like so bad. And then he does it, but just like, dude, like really, like you're just being a fucking asshole, like.
And then that goes back to another like towards the end of the seasons, going to Dwight's wedding as another kind of cringy moment when Kelly and Ryan run away and he fucking leaves his kid.
It's okay. I let him suck on a strawberry. He's allergic.
I'm allergic.
Like, dude, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell, dude? And then they run away, and
then
like,
Kelly's all like, you give your baby an allergic reaction for me? That's so sweet. And I'm just like, oh no.
I'm like, really? Like, oh.
And the doctor, I think what's his name?
I forgot the doctor's name, but
he's all like, where's
like,
Kelly at? Oh, they ran off. Oh, here,
he's like, oh God, you know what? Screw this, call
child services,
and say there's an abandoned baby, and they give it to Kevin, and that's when Nelly comes, and she's like, she takes it, and I'm like, dang, that's kind of like deduction, like shit, because she goes back to where she's England, where or London, but I mean, at least in the video, in the camera, she says, if any of y'all run into Ryan and he's looking for his child, just let him know where he's at.
But then again, like, the only reason why that doesn't make me cringe is because like it was set out that she wants to be a mother, and obviously like she's like she finds her opportunity, like
But I like that, Nelly kind of redeems, becoming a mother. I just hate
that Ryan
the way Ryan and Kelly did
left.
it. Like, it makes them like selfish characters.
But they've always been selfish characters.
I know that.
With the whole Wolf episode, he could have sold it to university to use for
just the letters.
No. I thought I think wasn't there one college that wanted to use his system to notify if there's like a school shooting or something like that?
No,
it was just the letters, right?
Yeah,
But I think Oscar, he suggests selling it for that reason, and Ryan's like, no, that's not what it's being. That's not what it's supposed to be used for. It's supposed to be used for social media.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's just like, dude, like really, like you could have sold it, and like I think Stanley, Pam, Daryl, and
Oscar, obviously.
No, Oscar didn't invest in it.
I thought he did.
It was Pam, Stanley,
Mike, obviously.
Michael wasn't there.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yes, he
Oh
was.
yeah. He was. Yeah, he was.
Because
Yeah.
he was the one that persuaded
Yeah.
Stanley, Pam, and
Yeah.
Daryl to
Yeah.
to
Okay. Yeah.
invest.
But it's just like they could have like they invested and they're like you got to sell it. And he's like no. I want to do like no like no. It's like dude like like yeah he's always been selfish. Even Kelly like well you better because I'm pregnant. And she's all like just like she's always been that way like so I guess that's why I'm a little forgiving for that. Like yeah it's terrible. It's super terrible. But it's in line with their characters. Like that's what they always been. Just selfish and just fools with each other. I like when Ryan finally comes back after Dunder Mifflin buys the Micheal Scott paper company, and he finally comes back and he's all like, "Oh, I think this is where I'm gonna do my push-ups." He's just like starts doing 100 push-ups and then they start making out and Toby's just like, he's just like, God damn it. But that's another one. Like no matter how ridiculous Micheal Scott is, he's always got the job done. Example, when him and Jan are at the Chili's with the meeting and he's like just shooting the shit and Jan's just like, no, it should take an hour. He goes, no, we're gonna be here all night. And he's like, can I get a Awesome Blossom extra awesome?
Extra awesome.
And then he's like, you always made Awesome Blossom come out my nose. He's like making the guy laugh until finally the guy's all like, okay, yeah, I'll give you my business. And then he does what he has to do. Same thing with Micheal Scott Paper Company.
Well, no, even before that, same thing when they go to that conference and he like scored like a big paper company and they're like, how did you score them? He goes, just doing my thing.
Yeah. It's just like he's an idiot, but he does his thing.
And then he's like, maybe next time you won't underestimate and you'll overestimate.
Stupid. I'm gonna give you some time to talk about one of your favorite things about The Office. I'm gonna use the restroom. Talk to the camera. Talk to the camera. I gotta use the restroom.
Well,
Sorry, guys.
I think I should go too because I'm gonna have to
Break.
Yeah. So
Okay, break.
one more break and we'll be right back. And we are back.
What's up?
What's up? Geeking and Drinking, Steven, Eddie, talking about The Office. It's one of our favorite shows. And we're drinking Künstler. Dude, I am enjoying this episode very much. I am...
A good topic and a great beer. Great.
Both
of them, huh?
Great beer.
Hellas was a good beer to start off with. Got us going. This brewed IPA is just going on smooth. Like,
Yeah, it's
really
definitely
good.
Especially for an IPA. I want to grab that...
Screwdriver.
So, again, our main topic for this episode is The Office. I know The Office is been off the air since it started in 2012. And, no, it's saying 2013. 2005. So, The Office...
Okay.
Office...
I'm about to say, like 2012 sounds...
Yeah, it's too soon. So Office, premiered in 2005 and ended in 2013. So it's obviously been 7 years since it's went off the air, and still one of the best things of television to ever enter into our lives.
I love it. I love it.
It's one
So I know you mentioned.
So we've been talking.
Get off your chest.
We've been talking about a lot of characters, even a lot of background characters like Zach Woods, Jared, not Jared, Gabe, Jared is from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Also, James Spader's character, Robert California, Kathy Bates' character,
Joan Bennett.
Joe Bennett. Obviously a lot of other characters, but there's a few other characters that we've neglected, and I want to know your feeling about them because they didn't seem like they were gonna last after in between the first two seasons, but Phyllis and Stanley. We have not talked about Phyllis and Stanley.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, all right.
One of my favorite things with Phyllis is when she got married to
Bob Vance.
Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration. So, what's your line of work? fucking Ryan was a dick.
Yeah.
That's why I love him.
Yeah. Bob Vance Refrigeration. Bob Vance Refrigeration. Oh, hi, Bob Vance. What line of work you in? But yes, Stanley and Phyllis, two characters that
because they had their moments in the office.
They did.
Some good moments.
they
some
didn't
really
have
good moments.
major character arcs like an Angelo or an Oscar, but they had
They're kind of like a Kevin.
like they're there and they're known, but like it I don't know.
Well.
Like Stanley, the whole
Old man doing crossword puzzles.
but like also the whole
Did I stutter?
yeah the whole the whole episode about him having an affair with the secrets, and then like I said the whole Did I Stutter, Pretzel Day,
When they were in Florida, and he
he's all like, Jim, you don't know how to vacation.
You know how to vacation, and then
hey guys, it's just me and my friend here. Where you guys from? And he's all like, like dude, you know what I'm doing. Phyllis, you got the whole, her marrying Bob Vance. She went to school with Michael. Oh, back in high school we used to call her Easy Rider. Oh my god. Oh, that part where he's all like, he's hugging her, he's all like, you know what?
Oh, I think I'm
getting a boner.
I was like, oh my god, dude.
See, but like those first episodes, like I felt like she had not come into her own until she married Bob Vance, and that's when she started being that sassy character of like telling Angela to shut up.
When they had the Valentine's lunch with Jim and Pam and
her and Bob Vance are in the restroom, just like what the fuck,
Ooh, like, oh my god.
Yeah. And she's all drinking her water, just Jesus, and then of course, like when she hurts her back when they're doing the cafe disco. Oh, and then she has that moment with Dwight.
Oh yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. And that's where Dwight's character, Rainn Wilson's character, really started shining a lot because he really connected with everybody. And that's what I like. At the end of the season finale, is like, these are not my subordinates; these are my friends.
Yeah, and then like he has all his friends at his wedding. He has Jim as his best man. Like that's honestly like
Schmidt.
Yeah. Like that's honestly like
His best is Schmidt.
I couldn't imagine the show ending on a high note because of where it was going, but it did. Like, it ended on a really good note. I would admit those last two episodes, was what we're with the whole documentary kind of point of view of it. Like, like that's when they finally acknowledged like there's been a camera crew. Oh no. I mean it's kind of been acknowledged with the whole.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
but I still want to talk about Stanley and Phyllis. Because going back to Phyllis's wedding, what I loved about that was that Pam was calling her like, this is all the same stuff that I was planning on my wedding. The same dress, the same fonts on the invitations.
It was PNR.
Yeah.
So it was
Pam
and Roy and Phyllis and Robert.
Robert.
Yeah, because it was Bob. Yeah.
Short for Robert.
Robert Vance. Yeah. And she's all like, PNR. Pam and Roy. Just like, oh no. And then even then, and then
even at Micheal Scott was supposed to walk Phyllis down the aisle, and then the grandfather
stand. Oh no, supposed to walk, push her dad, in a wheelchair, and he gets up.
And he gets up, and he's like, that lazy ass.
I've been pushing around in his ass all day. Like, it's just, oh my god. And then they're like, I don't know, like Phyllis has always been that character that's like, I remember one time like she's talking to Karen, she's like, oh, you have a lot to learn about this town, sweetie. Like she's always been kind of a dick, but in her own way.
Yeah. And I liked it when they had to go on the sales calls.
Oh, and she takes Karen.
Like with the big old hair and everything, and then like
that guy's wife.
And then like Karen's like
why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? And then like all of a sudden she realizes, and she goes, oh, and how's your wife? And he goes, oh, she's doing good. And they show the picture, and then Karen's finally Rashida Jones' character. Karen's like finally like,
oh, I get it now, yeah. And then at the end she's
and then she looks at her like.
But at the end, she's all like, "You could pay me back for the makeover."
Yeah,
just like, what the fuck? Or then like even after Dunder Mifflin buys the Micheal Scott Paper Company, and Jim, and Pam and Ryan are brought back as salesmen, and they're not happy about it, and even Phyllis is all like, close your mouth, sweetheart. You look like a trout.
Oh,
I'm just like, what
God, yes,
She's so fucked
and
up.
then the other thing too, when they find Robert California's journal and they're trying to make a copy of it, and then Kevin's like, warning, and then she like. She just goes
falls
back.
over,
She
yeah.
just falls back, and then you're like, "Oh my god, you okay?" And then they make the copy real quick, and
Yeah, but then like Phyllis and Stanley always had that connection because even at the last episode, like she's like, I miss you, and like I
love
miss you
that.
too, and they're just like dancing, like
and
they're
then
just
but then like because Stanley retired, and then so she's got a different person in front of her, and she's always she's always feeding him cooking. She goes, you're good. She goes, I swear to God, I've gained like about 5 or so
gonna
many
plump 'em
pounds.
up.
So many pounds, and then she's like she knows what she is doing.
Yeah,
she is trying to plump them up.
yeah. Like yeah, like those are and even okay. Speaking of Stanley and Phyllis, Meredith and Creed.
Yes, the another ones, dude. Creed and even in himself, Creed.
But like because I think Meredith. Stanley and Phyllis have always kind of been similar.
Yeah.
In their characters, they've had their moments, but they've always been there, and they've always had the connection. Creed and Meredith sit next to each other, and they've always been the fucking weird ones.
And oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about them too. I mean, dude, they were just as important. I mean, dude, Creed in himself, just a standalone character as in himself was just like,
Today's Halloween.
he's like, if Creed, whatever his last name was,
If Creed Brand gets into debt, then Creed Brand transfers his debt to someone so and so. Like,
Yeah.
And
then the Halloween episode where Plop's like, I didn't realize everyone likes to get dressed up for Halloween. He goes,
he's all splattered with like red stuff. He's all like, today's Halloween.
He's like, me neither. And then they jump in and goes, today's Halloween.
That's really lucky.
It's really perfect. It's really lucky. That's perfect timing.
Then like even like Meredith, she's had her
or the one where they're when Dunder Mifflin's supposed to be getting sold, so Michael Scott sends her to distract him with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, sir.
There's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
And he's like, he just comes in and walks
and
right
you're
back
the
out.
suspect. And he goes, no, what, sir? You know what, boss? Let me get my stuff together, and I'll be right back. And he just like walks down and jets out in his
running.
car. Like, oh shit. He goes, I've joined a number of cults, both as a leader and a follower. As a leader, you get more. As a follower, you have more fun. As a leader, you get more money.
Or like even like the time when Michael and Dwight are trying to frame Toby for having weed, and like the cops are there, and Creed's all like, he sees the cops, he's all like, and he says to the break room, he's all like, I'm just gonna sit here till they leave. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? But even then, like,
even Meredith,
she's had her episodes where, of course, she gets hit by the car, and you have the fun run, and he's like,
the
"This is
bat-
the
the
face."
bat?
Yeah,
The bat?
this 2 times he's putting a bag over her head, and like I forgot the second time, I forgot what reason. Oh, because her hair was on fire, I think. Yeah, her hair. Remember, like that Benihana Christmas.
Meredith, where are your panties? What? It's casual Friday.
It's casual Friday. Damn it, Meredith, where are your panties? Like, oh my god, even her like she's all like on I think on St. Patty's Day she comes in, she's all dressed all nice. She goes, no, not on St. Patty's Day.
you don't ruin St. Patty's Day.
She goes, no responsibility, no kids. Meredith, where are your kids?
The lice. The lice.
Oh my god, she shaves her fucking head.
Eh? They ain't gonna get me.
Oh my god, dude.
And then her son.
Oh, Jake with a stripper at Angela's bachelor party. Jakey, no, come on, you gotta do it this way. Like, oh no, like, yeah, like those like 2 characters again. Like that. Like you've always had those group of characters. You've had Phyllis and Stanley, Creed and Meredith. I guess in a sense, you kind of always had Daryl and Andy because they, even though they didn't sit next to each other, but they were always kind of getting into cahoots together. Like when Andy discovers that the printers catch fire, and Daryl's like, "This is too real."
He thought he was messing with them, and then
and then you have
this is just too real.
then you have the trio. You have Kevin, Angela, and Oscar. Who for the most part, Angela and Oscar had their, but Kevin's always been there. He's always been part of that. And then you have
Pam, Jim,
Pam
and
Jim
Dwight.
and Dwight, yeah, because they all sit at that
Dude,
table together.
I love when when he sends Dwight to go get the iPod, and he's like, "You know what I found?
Asbestos.
Mold."
Oh, mold. Yeah, mold. And he starts breaking
He
the
starts
kitchen.
breaking it in, like listening to heavy metal. And like,
Yeah. And he even sleeps in their bed naked. Yeah, it's just like,
he picks up their picture.
and even
And then that's when Isabel shows
comes
up.
over. Yeah. Oh, Isabel, how you doing? Like, and then you have Toby, Kelly, and
Michael. Twins. I just found twins.
I just found twins. Hold on, twins.
He's
Like,
like, oh, I'm sorry, but you can't pass this. It's twins.
stupid, dude. Stupid.
And he's
Dumb.
like, these are the best set of twins I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, going back to Oscar, because like I said, his character didn't.
And he was gone for a while too.
Yeah, because that's when he took.
Gay witch hunt.
Yeah, because he took like time off and he came back, and then I remember that's when Angela's cat died. So she's like, oh, certain things happen, and I'm sorry and all that stuff, But like I said, like it wasn't until the Gay Witch Hunt is when he started developing as a character. When he finally found his feet, I think, was when him, Andy, and Michael went to Vancouver for that.
Oh.
And Andy's dating he's dating Angela at the time, and him and Oscar are out drinking, and he's all like, "Oh, you're not gonna call her!" Like he starts getting like all giddy, and like
Yeah.
that's when he starts coming into his own. That's when he starts owning that character that he's playing, that gay accountant.
Yeah.
Because even like the episode with the surplus, when he tells Michael, we have a surplus, and Michael's all like, explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
And then he's all like, yeah, eliminates down. He gets a whole spew. And then one of the best things Oscar's done is when they're doing the whole Savannah storyline, because they're afraid the branch is closing. And they're doing that's Savannah, and Oscar's like, oh, the plantation. It's just like this, I can't do this, and it's just like, but then he really comes into his own with the senator, with the whole senator storyline.
Yeah.
And he really comes into his own with that. And
Especially when after Michael left, and they released a trailer for the documentary, and they're like, did they film everything? And like everyone starts talking, and like it's like they turn off their mics, but then the crew has the boom mics.
Yeah, like it's just seeing like
and then that is going into the
yes, which is probably one of the things you didn't like the most.
Yeah.
But kind of going back to, I'm just like, I don't mind it as much, but I still don't like it.
Yeah.
The whole Brian
I like
storyline.
the actor.
I love the actor. He's great, but just the whole storyline, and it didn't go nowhere. It didn't go nowhere.
I'm glad though. I'm glad. I think a lot of people complain about it, and
I just feel like I'm not complaining the fact that it didn't go nowhere. I'm complaining the fact that why they start it and not finish it. Like I kind of felt like there was something that they were gonna do with the whole Brian and Pam thing. But I'm also glad that they didn't do it, because I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But it just didn't go anywhere. Like with the last time she talked to him, she was talking to him on the balcony and asked him if they filmed everything. That was it. He never seen him again. And then after that, that's when they started acknowledging, like, yes, there's been a camera crew following us around. There's a documentary
Like,
coming
oh yeah,
out.
we film everything. We've been following y'all for everything.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know. And then I like there's some there are more high points in the show than there are low points. The low points, like, I really just don't like Scott's tots.
Oh, and now I can say another cringeworthy episode that I really don't like is when Diversity Day.
Yeah.
Hello. I was like, oh my god, Michael, shut up! And then that's when Kelly slaps him.
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh.
even then, like, Kelly's character wasn't developed. Like, she's just one of those she still wore all those long dresses.
Yeah,
like she really hadn't come into her own.
She wasn't all about pop culture.
Yeah, like she was just unfortunately, the Indian girl that worked in the office, customer service, and that's what he's
That's
like,
customer
thank
service.
You, like, and that's kind of a little edgy now, but she really.
I'm glad. I mean, in that sense, I'm glad they did develop her character.
Yes, because like
very much,
she started becoming that character, like, the gossipy, the one that like loves the drama,
and would always talk like when Jim got to move to the annex,
and
he's just like.
Yeah,
like, oh my god, and Ryan Reyes and Ryan Dad.
Yeah, and then like just certain stuff, but I don't know, man. Like this show, I could watch it over and over and over.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
It's just
for sure.
And like I said, the way it ended,
I I like the way it ended. I
love the way
loved
it
it. Okay, one thing about one of the season finale episodes, or the season finale episode, when they did the panel.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then Aaron's.
How did you feel about the whole Aaron situation?
It was fine. I mean, it was kind of nice to see her get a moment to where, like, because it was always put out there that she was a foster kid.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice, especially the episode where she starts crying with the whole Nelly thing. It was kind of nice to see a little bit of closure to that. But at that point, Plop is gone. So, like, you don't really know what Aaron's doing. So it was kind of nice closure.
Why was Plop gone?
Because remember, it was like a year after, like, the documentary
Yeah.
aired. So then, like, they're going to do a Q&A. They're all going to get back together. Like, the last episode is pretty much a year after the documentary aired.
I thought he was there.
I don't think he was.
I thought he was in the.
See, and like,
I mean, I could be wrong.
And if he wasn't, like, I really don't like it because, like, they really, like, leaned into his character a lot. More so than the other dude.
I mean,
Well, no, they actually kind of did.
they about to get kind of did both.
Yeah,
I mean,
because like the other dude was like real close to Dwight, and then and then him and then he goes off with
Dwight
Jan.
Jr.
He goes off with Jan, and he gets in that cell, and then Andy ruins it, and then like and then but like you know what part I like is when Jim kind of like steps away to do athlete, and then so what's the dude's name? It's not Plop. What's the other one's name?
I was about to look that over now.
But I know what
you're talking
But
about.
he's sitting at Jim's desk, and Pam's like Mrs. Jim, and she tells Dwight, "Hey, you want to prank him?" She goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, and she's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna get Saran wrap, tape it onto the thing," and he just gets the Saran wrap and wraps it around his head. He's like, "Ah!" He's like,
the actor's name is Clark Duke,
yeah.
and what was his character in The Office? I'll find it right now.
But yeah, like it's just like yeah. I mean, like I like the addition of Plop and him. I like the addition of those two characters better than the first three interns.
Oh, he was just Clark.
Clark.
He was just straight up Clark.
So like, remember when they had those three interns come in? The Chinese dude, the white guy, and the girl.
Yeah.
And that's when they found out Stanley. Like I didn't really care for those three characters.
Yeah,
like,
for
they
sure.
They kind of throw away. These two, they came in and they really kind of like
shine.
They really solidified themselves into the show to where what they do is making a difference.
Yeah.
You have Plop, kind of with Aaron, and then you have Clark with Dwight and Jan. And it made sense, like I like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were great additions to the show, and I like that they got those two actors, especially Clark. He's he's funny.
And I like because I love him and
he's all body by Cheez It.
I love him in Hot Tub Time Machine.
He's all, yeah. But they were great additions to the show.
The people that they picked for Aaron's parents, I really loved them.
It was John Cusack,
and Ed Begley Jr.
Okay.
He's the one that plays the father on Pineapple Express.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He goes, "I will shoot you."
Yeah, I forgot what he says, but yeah, he says,
"Don't shoot us anywhere."
But I mean, overall, like I said, The Office is probably one of the best sitcom shows that you could watch, especially one of the best shows.
And that brought in a lot of big characters in itself. Because going back to Friends, Friends had some big names, Sean Penn, David Arquette, Brad Pitt.
I also feel like Friends was a little ahead of his time, only because like people didn't start getting into Friends till after. It was over.
Too. But that also goes with The Office because not a lot of people were watching.
We were watching it.
We were. Watching
I think we stopped watching after a while, and then we didn't. I mean, at least for me, I didn't finish it until it was on Netflix.
Yeah, I didn't finish it until it was on Netflix either.
So it's just like
because I didn't have cable anymore, and that's when all the streaming stuff was coming out, and I stopped buying them on DVD or Blu-ray the season. So like, so I didn't actually finish it until it came out on Netflix. Same thing with Friends. I didn't finish Friends until we started buying the DVD sets, and so yeah, I mean that's just kind of sad though. I mean,
but at the same time, like I feel like that kind of shows how good the show is. Like that you could watch it, but it ended in 2013, and now we're still watching it, and it still holds up. It still holds up really well.
Maybe not the first two seasons,
yeah,
but it definitely does
holds
hold
up,
up.
you know, and to the point where I could just watch it over and over and over, and like that's a testament to how good the show is. That '70s show, Scrubs, you know, certain episodes, not the last seasons, you know, but like,
Well, Scrubs, but not the what they consider the last season, which was supposed to be the first season of a new Scrubs, but it never went anywhere.
but like that's what I'm saying, like those shows that you could just rewatch over and over and over, like just like that's awesome, you know, like.
For me, Scrubs ended at season 8, not season 9.
With Dave Franco.
Yeah.
You know, but like, yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that we took the time to just really kind of like discuss our favorite parts, some of our not favorite parts, you know, and honestly, like ever since you said it earlier, I asked you what was your favorite part, and you said the characters. I'm like, he's to know that right in the head because that's what the show is. It's about the characters. And you know, yes, Michael Scott, Steve Carell is a standout. But you know what? Watch it again and look at all the other characters and follow those characters, especially Dwight, especially Angela. You know, Jim and Pam to a certain extent,
and not just the main characters too, but even like Stanley and Phyllis, Creed and
Toby,
and
Kelly,
Meredith, Toby, Ryan and Kelly. You know, Zach Wood's character, Gabe. I mean, dude. I mean. These were all-star casts. I mean, now think about it, they're all-star casts. I mean, they're all doing their own things. They all become producers. They've all become writers. They all really developed because of this show past what they thought they could do.
And I know right now, like one of the shows
as individuals. I mean,
I know right now, like one of the shows that people were like anticipating was Space Force. Like, oh, it's gonna be like another Office. And honestly, I just don't think you can recreate that.
No. You can't.
Space Force could be bad. It could be good. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen
the reviews. I haven't all that great.
I haven't seen any of the reviews on it either. But I mean, come on, guys. You can't expect it to automatically be like, oh, it's got Steve Carell, so it's gonna be awesome, and it's got Jimmy what's the guy's name? Jimmy O Yang. From Silicon Valley.
Ben Schwartz, Lisa Kindrew.
Yeah,
you know,
it's got all these freaking people that that made.
Great shows
that have made.
You got Silicon Valley, you got Friends, you got The Office.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like an impact that have made an impact on certain shows, but like guys, it still takes a development for shows to reach a certain point.
It's rare and it's pretty awesome when a season 1 of a series knocks it out of the park.
Yeah,
Mandalorian did it. You know,
you can have an all-star cast for something, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be the best thing ever. I mean, it's still got to develop.
In other words, Parks and Rec. The first 2 seasons are terrible.
Oh, God.
Terrible.
Especially the first season.
Yeah, the first season is the worst. But that show eventually finds its feet, and it's one of the best shows.
And then we end up start falling in love with characters, dude. My favorite characters were. April and Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, and look at them now. They're fucking
Star-Lord and Chucky.
And Chucky. No, I mean, but she's doing a lot of indie movies, but she's also doing a lot of writing and producing it in itself. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like these actors, they're going beyond what people think that they can do. They're fucking, writing, they're producing, They're behind the scenes for a lot of our favorite stuff, and not just there. I mean, dude, Audrey Plaza and Scott Pilgrim. I mean, she was one of the key. Mocha for Scott Pilgrim is like, they're always blurting her out. It's like it's funny, and then of course, Chris Pratt. Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic World. Yeah. Passenger. He's out there. Yeah, and I mean, he's a really good. I mean, he seems like a really cool guy. I mean, I would love to, eventually meet him and shoot the shit with him, but. Maybe that's in the long run. I'm just saying though, and that's what I'm saying about same thing with these characters from The Office. I mean, they've all gone and done things beyond it. Just because you don't see them in shows and movies and like that doesn't mean that they're not working. They are doing stuff behind the scenes. They are writing. They are producing. They are giving other actors advice of this is what we did. This is how I did it. This is maybe create your own kind of character for this character. Come on.
I mean, there's a lot of beauty that goes into a TV show, and it's up to you to really realize it or not. It could just be a TV show. And that's the case, that's fine as long as you get some enjoyment out of it. If you haven't seen The Office, I highly suggest you give it a chance, watch it, and continue to watch it. If you've seen The Office, and if there's some things that we talked about that you haven't noticed, I give it another shot. Go watch it
And
again.
just remember, the first season of any show is always going to be a little cringeworthy. Breaking Bad, The Office, Parks and Rec,
Walking
Friends,
Dead.
The Walking Dead. Well, The Walking Dead for me was like
No.
it was an automatic. but
Hey,
I think The Walking Dead did it in reverse. They did all the good stuff in the beginning, and then they kind of slowed down. But I still love it. I still love it. But things like that. So.
All right, guys, we'll reach the end of this show. Thank you for sticking around. On the replay, you guys are checking us out. Search us on Instagram, Facebook, and the beers we're drinking today are Künstler Brewing Co. We're drinking the Pink Brute, and we're also drinking the Hellestrella. It's a Munich Hells. Can't pronounce it. But everything will be in the description down below. Click on it, check it out. Check out The Office. Check out everything we talked about. Find us on social media. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, anywhere you find podcasts. Like I said, all the links are down below. So click on that arrow going down and find everything that you're looking for. This has been a very fun episode, and if you're out there, just be safe, please. Be responsible. Think before you act. And we're on this together. We're first and foremost human beings, and let's act like it, please. There's no reason to be spreading violence around. There's no reason to be, hurting each other, hurting, your community. Let's tackle this as a community, and do it the right way. Okay, all lives matter. Black, blue, every lives matter. It's not just one thing. So for Geekin Drinkin, I'm Eddie,
Steven,
and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.